February 12, 2025 Daily Bread. Daniel chapter 4, verse 1 through 18. Key verse 17. Title: Nebuchadnezzar's Dream of a Tree. King Nebuchadnezzar, to the nations and peoples of every language who live in all the earth, may you prosper greatly. It is my pleasure to tell you about the miraculous signs and wonders that the Most High God has performed for me. How great are his signs, how mighty his wonders. His kingdom is an eternal kingdom. His dominion endures from generation to generation. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at home in my palace, contented and prosperous. I had a dream that made me afraid. As I was lying in bed, the images and visions that passed through my mind terrified me. So I commanded that all the wise men of Babylon be brought before me to interpret the dream for me. When the magicians, enchanters, astrologers, and diviners came, I told them the dream, but they could not interpret it for me. Finally, Daniel came into my presence, and I told him the dream. He is called Belshazzar, after the name of my God, and the spirit of the holy gods is in him. I said, Belshazzar, chief of the magicians, I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in you, and no mystery is too difficult for you. Here is my dream. Interpret it for me. These are the visions I saw while lying in bed. I looked, and there before me stood a tree in the middle of the land. Its height was enormous. The tree grew large and strong, and its top touched the sky. It was visible to the ends of the earth. Its leaves were beautiful, its fruit abundant, and on it was food for all. Under it the wild animals found shelter, and the birds lived in its branches. From it every creature was fed. In the visions I saw while lying in bed, I looked, and there before me was a holy one, a messenger, coming down from heaven. He called in a loud voice, "Cut down the tree and trim off its branches. Strip off its leaves and scatter its fruit. Let the animals flee from under it, and the birds from its branches. But let the stump and its roots, bound with iron and bronze, remain in the ground, in the grass of the field. Let him be drenched with the dew of heaven, and let him live with the animals among the plants of the earth. Let his mind be changed from that of a man, and let him be given the mind of an animal, till 7 times pass by for him." The decision is announced by messengers. The holy ones declare the verdict, so that the living may know that the Most High is sovereign over all kingdoms on earth, and gives them to anyone he wishes, and sets over them the lowest of people. This is the dream that I, King Nebuchadnezzar, had. Now, Belshazzar, tell me what it means, for none of the wise men in my kingdom can interpret it for me, but you can, because the spirit of the holy gods is in you. Daily Bread Message. This chapter begins with Nebuchadnezzar's proclamation to all the nations about what God has done for him. Though Nebuchadnezzar was the greatest king on earth, he declared that God's kingdom is eternal and God rules over each generation. It was an introduction to his testimony. While content in his palace, Nebuchadnezzar had another powerful dream. None of his astrologers could interpret it. Finally, Daniel arrived, and the king shared the contents of his dream, in which a great tree reached the sky and extended throughout the earth. It had beautiful leaves and abundant fruit, and provided food for all and shelter for the wild animals. Then a messenger from heaven came down, pronounced judgment on the tree. It was cut down, and its stump chained. Next, the angel pronounced judgment on a man that would be drenched with dew, eat plants, and have the mind of an animal for 7 years. The angel announced that through this judgment all people would know that God is most high, and he sets over the nations of the world anyone he chooses. This is a strong reminder to stay humble and give glory to God. Power corrupts and makes us unnecessarily proud. We desperately need humility to honor God as Lord Most High. Prayer. Father, you are sovereign over leaders and nations, and me. Help me to humble myself completely under Jesus as Lord Most High. One word, God is Most High over all the earth.